This is Cardinal Jean-Marie, and I laugh at myself now, and I would have all laugh at with me who have seen my first interview, because it must be imagined what a shock it was for me when I crossed over and realizing that all that I was and all that I experienced was a lie, and that that only when you cross over you realize the truth. Though I won't divide it into a lie and a truth, I'd rather explain it as a realization. That's simple. And I have now realized that all that I missed in my life here on earth was no one else but me, myself. And that is what I discovered. Excuse me, but it is beautiful because when you realize that you've always been here, and there's no one that judges you, and there's no one that condemns you, and there's no one that neglects you or says to you, Jean-Marie, look what you did, look what you've allowed, look what you've done. You must now suffer in your guilt and your sorrow and your pain infinitely for what you have done to those people of the world, that you have misled them. And no, the only person that is able to do that is me. Only I am able to judge myself. Only I am able to condemn myself. And that's what I realized after spending some time with me in the dimensional existence. And it is what I have realized possibly exists within each human being, that they are afraid to face what they have done, what they have allowed, and what they have accepted within themselves in this world, because they know what they have done. You know what you have allowed, and you're too afraid to speak about it, you're too afraid to acknowledge it, and you're too afraid to be honest with yourself in realizing what you have allowed and what you have done and what you're aware of, because you're afraid of condemnation and you're afraid of judgment. But I'm able to say to you, and what I have realized, is that no one is able to judge you, and no one is able to condemn you, but that your freedom within yourself, the peace within yourself, and the right realization of you exists within that honesty within yourself, in facing what you have allowed and what you have done, instead of trying to hide it, instead of hiding in secrecy, and instead of acknowledging it. Because you will face it either here on earth or when you die, like I did. And it is the most magnificent experience when you realize yourself, when you experience yourself. And what I expressed in my first interview, I would say many experience inside themselves, because you start to realize, and you wake up and you start to see, oh my goodness. And that experience of myself was but the realization period. And everyone in this world is expecting something beautiful first to happen, something magnificent first to happen, like a heaven on earth experience in one moment, some will be allowed to experience heaven on earth and others will be condemned infinitely. But that's not how it is. No, it's not. It's all about self. It's about each and every single individual human being and dimensional being in existence. Say nature and the animal kingdom, the universe and the earth is quite away, quite away, and it's only each and every single human being now that is left, and the process is as follows. You start to realize what you have allowed, what you have done, what you have accepted. You realize you've lived a lie, deception, guilt comes, regret comes, sorrow comes, pain comes, sadness comes, possibly depression, because your world stops, your world ends, like mine has when I died, and that has to happen. Why? Because when you stand up from that, when you stand up from that, that is where you will find you. Like I have found me, but it's not a find. It's not a find. It's a realization, and you're always here. That's the beauty of it. And that is what must be realized. That you're always here. But you haven't allowed yourself to realize it because everyone is so used to this world, who they are, and that's the sadness actually. You know, you blame everything and you become angry instead of realizing that it's all about you. And then you ask yourself, but how could I miss myself? That is funny. How do we miss ourselves? We're right here, but yet we miss ourselves. This is Jean-Marie saying thank you very much.